Hey guys, welcome back to, it's kind of a story time, get ready with us, but it's Cursed Travel Stories. And Annie and I, we've experienced some stuff. Okay, so the first one is about how we went to this temple monastery retreat for Taoism. I don't know. Because my mom is really into Taoism, and it was some anniversary thing. There was loads of people there. Yeah, it was on a mountain in the middle of nowhere. Of the top monk guy, but he died or whatever. So basically, we were staying in a little cabin on a different mountain. So this is the mountain. This is the mountain where the temple is. And then at the crack of dawn every morning, they do this it's kind of like Tai Chi, but it's different. It's this Taoist one. And they do it at the absolute crack of dawn, okay? And they all of them congregate there in the morning, and then they do it together. So our mom wanted us to go.
They wake up they wake up at the crack of dawn when the fucking sun rises.
Yeah, crack of dawn 4 or 5
and
6 a.m.
We were not on the same mountain. We were on a different mountain. We were on the mountain beside it because my mom's friend had a place for us to sleep because we didn't want to sleep on the fucking floor.
Oh, is that what happened? Wait, how come mom just wanted us to go? Why didn't she go again?
She didn't want to wake up that early.
Yeah, she proper subjected us.
We woke up at 5. Okay, and that is normal people, 5 o'clock is our equivalent to at 2 o'clock.
No, it was rough for us. So she wanted us, and she also wanted us to bring her phones or something. Why?
Yeah.
Again? I can't remember.
Just because she didn't want to bring them herself.
Yeah.
So.
And usually when for us to get to the mountain, they drive us, do you know what I mean, to get to the cabin.
It's a 10-15 minute drive. It's maybe 7 minutes up the mountain.
And it's always a Jeep that's driving us, you know what I mean? Because it's the actual mountains. I'm not talking about a hill. It's high mountains. I'd say no joke, a minimum of 1,000 meters high. Anyways, so yeah, she was you have to go, and she's and I'll ask them so you guys don't think you guys, you know what I mean? Because there will be witnesses if we don't go. So we're oh my god. So we get up so mother effing early.
We go before the sun is even up. When
we
leave, it's literally dark. So, okay, our mountain, when we go down, it's obviously downhill. When we got to the bottom of the mountain, the sun came up. It only started to be bright when we got to the bottom of our mountain.
Okay, and then we were walking, and we were oh my gosh, because all they told us was just, oh, it's on the other mountain.
Yeah.
They literally didn't tell us anything. So we go down, and we get to non-mountain whatever, and then we go up a mountain, and then we realize there's just little plots of land for farming. And we're what the hell? And then we ask the farmers, and they're oh, no, there's no temple on our mountain. So we wasted a good, how long?
20, nearly half an hour.
Climbing that mountain. We have to come down. Once we come down, we're met by our first obstacle. This cursed dog. This dog. He had rabies or something. He was absolutely
all the
not
Asian
okay.
People watching will understand. White people don't get it. White people think
it's also
a stray dog. Oh, it's just a stray dog. Okay, whatever. No, Chinese dogs are fucking crazy.
It's also the ones in South America. It's actually the dog is
the dog wants to get you. You know what I mean? I feel other stray dogs in other countries, they're just minding their own business, or they follow you if you have food. Chinese stray dogs will run at you and start biting you or whatever.
And we're usually city gals, so we're what the hell? The dogs that we're used to in China are just little teddy dolls, little poodles, you know what I mean? So we're oh my gosh. And this dog, the look in his eyes, the crazy eyes, you know what I'm saying? And it looked like flies were like bouncing about, and like it had like a weird little crimp to the walk, and like
It kept barking, but not just like a little like cheeky dog bark. It was like barking, like
it was
growling.
like I'm gonna get like a threat, like the dog was threatening us, and then we were walking, but we didn't want to run because you know how as soon as you
meant to run from a
yeah,
dog.
a dog will start chasing you, okay? OMFG. And like the look in his, like it's not even, and like people were like, I think they were like, oh, like be careful of that dog or whatever, like the farmers or something. And we were like, what the hell?
It's kind of like, okay, so the dog wasn't like fully running at us, but he was like briskly like
he was
meter, like 1 meter behind us, and we were like walking like,
no,
oh my
yeah,
God.
because he was like closing on the distance, you know what I mean? Like he's speeding up.
Do you know when you're like on a night out with like your girlfriends and it's time to go home and you're just with that one girl and you guys are walking to your bus stop and there's like this drunk, like ugly ass guy behind you who can't take a hint, and you're walking like, oh my God, let's go, and then he's still behind you being like, hey, like come back or whatever. It was like that, like the dog.
No, this dog was like, I'm gonna get you. Like this dog was like, you better watch out. And like, he was nearing the distance so much. Like I'm talking like 2 meters. This is when I thought, like, this is. It's as if I got like a maternal instinct, even though she's my sister. In my mind, I was like, no, you don't understand. Like we were convinced, like if we got bit by the dog, we'd get rabies and we would die.
No, I actually thought like the dog would rip us apart.
Yeah, like even before the rabies gets us, you know what I mean? I was actually thinking, it's crazy, because I'm like, I don't think I'm usually this selfless, but I was like, okay, you know what? I need to turn around and I need to face this dog. I need to stand up to this dog and tell this dog who's boss, whatever. I thought I was being so mother effer macho, so courageous, so brave, so heroic. And I turn around, I stop on my heel and I turn around and I stare the dog directly in its rabies eyes, and I was like, Chip! I was trying to like give the energy of like, go away! Like scared away.
That's kind of what Chinese people do, especially
Yeah.
to dogs or like whatever. They're like, like
yeah. No, they're like, Chip, which means like go, okay? And in my mind, maybe Anya remembered it wrong, but I remember me actually like turning around and being like, Chip! You know what I mean? And then the dog kind of just like halted for a bit, and then I was like, what? And then he just like kind of stopped following us. But it's so funny. This is how Annie remembered me saying it.
Maybe it's only because we're like different people and we like remember things differently, and you were the other person. I was like one different perspectives. The dog, okay, so when Elaine turned around, I think the dog was like kind of weirded out. So it kind of stopped. And then Elaine was like, she turned around, she was like, Chip! I'm like, I was like, what? And then the dog, like in its stripes, was like, I'm just kind of, I don't want to like personify the dog, but the dog was literally like, it was like, I like turned around and walked away, and Elaine was like, and oh my God, I started laughing, and Elaine was like, what? I saved us. Like, yes, you did, but not in like a macho way, in like the dog was like weirded
No, but
out.
if the dog didn't give me the side eye, it wasn't like, anyways. Like, I thought, like, if I turn around and, like, because we were walking, the dog was following. So if I stopped, then, like, the dog still got the inertia. And I thought he was gonna, like, you know what I mean? And, like, he could have. So.
Yes, that's true.
I took a stance.
I am forever grateful because I would not have done that to the fucking dog. I would have just kept walking. But,
anyways,
yeah.
So we passed the dog trial and
Past
tribulation.
that level, okay?
We unlocked to
come
the
by
next
this,
level.
like, this
And then
another house.
No. And then we're at the base of the mountain, of the correct mountain, and this mountain is so mother effing tall. And also the sun is already like climbing its way up in the sky, and we're like,
just scared that we're gonna miss the like exercise thing, because if we miss it, we'd get in trouble for fucking missing it, even though we went to the wrong mountain the first time. when we're at the bottom of the mountain, we want to make sure it's that one, like the right one. There's this old man sitting like outside his house with like dried corn, picking off dried corn. So then Elaine was like, oh, is that the mountain with the temple or whatever? And he was like, yeah. Elaine doesn't fucking remember this part. But oh my God, I swear to God, there was this tiny, tiny little puppy dog. Like so tiny and so cute and fluffy came running out of his house. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God, this little baby. Like I wanted to touch it, but it's also like, you're not really meant to touch like dogs in the countryside. Like, so I didn't touch it. But oh my God, I was in love. I was like, that's the cutest fucking dog I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Anyways, we get to the right mountain. We cross the little river, the little bridge to get there. We're at the bottom of the mountain. Like, literally the road is like only up. Okay, you go.
And then we're like, okay, let's just climb this. And the road is not for humans to hike.
There's no path.
There's no
like,
path.
It's just dirt for like one space, like one car. You know what I mean?
Dirt
it's
and rocks,
you know?
And it's a normal car. Like there was a normal car, like not even a normal car, like a 4x4 that tried to bring us up, and it like couldn't like go like up because it was so steep. Like it actually needs like a Land Rover to go up. So you can imagine, like if it's hard for a car, imagine us with our little feeble bodies, okay? And we were like,
and it's so
hiking.
Curved. It's so curved that you can only see like the start of the curve, so you don't know what's coming down.
And you can't even like go directly up because it's so mother effing steep. You have to like kind of like zigzag your way over something.
Very dangerous because everything else is just really tall trees and stuff. Like you can't even just like go into the forest a bit.
Literally, if
you
it wasn't
like avoid the road, like you have to.
If it wasn't for the wrath of our mother and us knowing that if we missed this stupid Taoist exercise at the crack of dawn, like
we would have turned back. You know what I mean?
I would have turned back as soon as I saw that mad dog. Literally mad dog.
And like, I just need to put it into perspective because I feel like some of you won't even imagine it right. When there's a car like coming down or going up, they have to be beeping the entire time just in case another car comes. Because if another car comes, the other car has to like reverse the whole way back up the mountain because there's no way. And
when cars came, we literally were inside the bushes. Like, we were literally, like, within the thorns because the road is so narrow for the stupid cars. And then, like, there were, like, maybe 2 cars that passed us. And now we're, let's say, a third way up the mountain. Now there are no cars. And then we go up a bit, and then it starts raining.
Okay, before the rain, you know, sometimes, you know, normally it gets cloudy, and then it kind of starts to drizzle. And then whatever.
Normally
it was clear skies, okay?
Yeah, sunny.
I look up clear skies, next minute.
Rain. This is about to get, you're gonna...
Black clouds. No sign of the blue sky, okay?
Let me tell you something. Listen, Annie and I, completely sober, okay? And we both recall these events. So don't start thinking we're making stuff up or anything.
You can't make this shit up. You literally can't.
We both collectively remember the same thing. And we're telling you now, I'm telling you now.
That motherfucker is not real.
Literally, spoiler alert. Okay, listen to us. Clear skies. Clear. Not a single cloud in the sky. Boom, it starts raining. And all of a sudden, before, when it was still clear skies going a third of the mountain, there were like maybe 2 cars that passed us and when we were in the bushes, okay? Now, not like transform into a different whatever, but just listen, okay? Now it's raining. There are no cars, no one in sight. And it's like raining, and it's starting to raining like heavily. And this is summertime. No rain before. And we were in like a little vest and like shorts because it's summertime. And Annie had a little rucksack with, like, for some reason my mom always has like 4 phones or something. And the rucksack is those ones that you get from like camp, you know what I mean? It's like made of like, what's it made of?
I have no idea.
Just like some like thin ass material. and it's like a rucksack on like 2 strings, okay? And she was carrying that. She had her little glasses on, whatever. This is, and I was just chilling, outfit, fit check, and I was just wearing a little shorts, a little top, not holding much, whatever. And we were still recovering from the dog drama, anyways, and the cars. Starts raining heavily. We're like, what the damn hell? And like, if we had known it was gonna rain, we would have brought something. You know what I mean? It's just completely unexpected. There wasn't even clouds. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't have a chance to be like, oh, let's hurry up and go up because it's starting to rain. It goes from clear skies to like, bam, like rain, like 70-80% rain. And we're like, what the hell? We go up another, let's say halfway up. Like, let's say now we're halfway up the mountain. And then we turn a little corner. And there is a little, like amongst the rocks of this mountain, there was like a little hut. Like a little rock, tiny cave, small straw hut kind of vibe. Is that how you would describe it? Literally,
like made out of mud. Like one of those like really, really poor, like,
yeah, like
shitty ass huts.
Like prehistoric, like 30,000 years ago, kind of like hunter-gatherers kind of little hut.
Waddle and daub, like, you can't fucking make this shit up.
In the mountain. It's literally a little hole in the mountain. Like, I don't even know how big that tiny hut is. We're like, oh, strange. Out, emerging from the hut, is a little old lady. She's like a little hunched over lady. I think she's wearing black.
I don't fucking remember what she was wearing, but
she's like,
but like, okay, we aren't like bitches. So when I first saw her, I was like, okay, this is just like your average really, really old Chinese granny who is like very poor and just lives
yeah
there, you know what I mean?
And like, also in China you have to be really respectful to elders, and we're just like, okay. And then was there also an old man or no?
No, it was literally.
Yeah, I think I'm confusing with the old man I saw before. But anyways, it's just an old lady. She emerges from this little hut, and we're like, what the hell? Because it's a mountain. It's like a rocky mountain. It's not like, I don't know. Anyways, she comes out of the hut, and she looks at the rain, and she's like, are you sure you girls want to be going up that mountain in this rain? And we're like, yeah, like we have to go up to the mountain, whatever. And she was like, are you sure? And did she say, like, do you want to, like stay here for a bit or something?
She was just like, are you sure? Like, it's gonna rain even how, like, are you sure?
Like,
and then we were like,
made a point of it.
We were like, the fuck? Mind your own business, old lady.
But we were also like, we're halfway up the mountain. Like, what are we meant to do? And then she, like, properly made a point of it. And we're like, she said it, like, maybe 3 times. And we're like, yeah, no, we're fine, whatever. Even though it's, like, drenching rain now. And then we go up a bit. And then, I don't know if we don't turn back. You know what? We'll get to it. Anyways, so now the rain is at...
The rain gets like, okay, the rain was at like 60, 70, okay? It gets to like 120.
It gets the overflow maximum capacity. This rain was not like torrential rain. Like, it's no rain I've ever experienced before in my life.
And we've lived in Ireland for our whole life. Ireland has insane
or like
rain.
No, or like Beijing or China, like Qingdao, or like
Qingdao has where we're from in China has literal hurricanes and
typhoons.
But like
all the time. When it rains in Qingdao, every droplet makes a massive bubble. Can you imagine?
It literally fucking hurts.
Can you imagine? So it's not like we haven't seen rain before, okay? Just listen. This rain was otherworldly.
No joke.
I have not even seen in movies or TV shows this type of rain, okay? It's like, you know, when actors like, oh, when you're filming on set for like a rain scene and they have to have like actual hose you. It's like that, but times 10. This rain, like the force, the water pressure was maxed out. Like okay, the rain was so...
We are walking uphill, right?
Yeah,
so
steep.
The rain is like, you know what I mean?
It's coming down. I couldn't even keep my eyes open because this rain was so whatever. Like,
I couldn't I could only look down at my feet when walking up. My eyelids couldn't hold up the fucking rain, okay? And I had my glasses on. I had to be wiping my glasses like this, like fucking window wipers.
And then it got to a point where we could only walk straight and up.
We've been walking for like so long at this point.
True. But
Okay.
it was so steep that like when we were walking, we kind of had to like hunch and like lean forward.
If we're like standing up straight and walking, we'd literally fucking fall back.
Especially
not only because of the steepness, because of the fucking rain.
No,
okay.
And because it's so slippery, obviously because the rain like mixing with the muck or what, like so wet, and because the physical force, the physical resistance of the rain, like we could not literally like roll back our shoulders a little bit or we'd fall down to the bottom of the mountain, okay? And we were still like, we have to make our way up.
Yeah, genuinely, like,
but
the
also,
only way is up. Like,
but also, it would have honestly been like a lot more dangerous going downhill, in my opinion. I don't even know. But there wasn't even anywhere to stop. Now there's no trees, no nothing. Like no shrub. There's
it's
nothing for us to
just
hold.
a fucking road. And
nothing for us to hold
the other
onto.
side of the road, like it used to be trees. It was literally just a fucking drop. It was a drop to like deeper in the mountain. We were walking up this road, and
it's not a road. We were walking up this.
The little thing I can see up there, it just keeps fucking going. And I was like, we're never gonna get there. Like,
and
we're never gonna fucking.
We're not being delusional. It was like so much longer than we remembered, like going up all the previous times. It's like
even if we were in a car, it was only like 5 minutes tops. You know what I mean? We were walking for like
so long. And we weren't even being slow with it because obviously we want to hurry up and get to the top and not fall to our deaths. And Annie and I didn't even talk about this at the time or even that year. We only talked about it a year ago. Like, it was actually traumatic for us to think about. But once we both like reconnected, like not reconnected, once we both like started reminiscing about that time, we had the same thought in our gut. I literally thought, like with the mad dog, I was like, this is kind of really mother effing scary. But this time, like going up, you know it's bad when Annie and I are silent.
Yeah, when we did not say a word in that fucking rain. We were walking, we just kept our fucking head down, kept to ourselves. We
put one foot in front of the other.
No,
we were thinking the same thing. We were like, I like actually accepted. I was like, I'm going to die.
Me too. Okay, I'm an overthinker anyways, and I have really bad anxiety anyways. But when I was going, I was like, we're not gonna make it. Like, I'm not gonna make it. Like, I'm gonna fucking die.
Literally.
Like, there were so many risks. Okay, first of all, if one foot slipped on the fucking rain, the rain was like this thick. Okay, like this thick, like running down the mountain. I would if one foot slipped.
Or
gone.
even if a little
I fell to the
rock
side,
was loose and we stood on it and whatever.
Gone.
And the funny thing is, Annie's little rucksack, because it was raining
so
heavily.
I put all the phones.
Yeah, the phones
under
can't
my
touch
shirt.
water. She put the rucksack under her little vest.
I genuinely thought I did something. Okay.
So she was holding something like this, and she was like, and I literally thought to myself, I was like, I think I was like to Annie, I was like, okay, it's okay, like just keep going or something, I don't know. And she didn't even reply. Like, that's how tense it was.
Like, we could have slipped. I could have fallen off the mountain.
Or a car could have, I don't know.
I was so scared that a car would come down, because obviously, like, if a car came down normally and it wasn't raining, it'd still be really dangerous. But it was fucking raining as well. A car could literally just roll down, you know what I mean?
When we tell you,
scared.
This journey was never ending. It's not even like we're being dramatic about it, but like, it was
literally
normally a 20-minute walk. It was like an hour and a half.
Like, we were walking at like a good pace, But genuinely, I feel like there's no fucking way that we were walking for that long on the same road that we were driving up every single day.
Anyways, and like I literally was like, oh my god, like I was literally like trying to just like, I actually accepted it. I was like, I'm going to die, and I was literally just like, it's okay, like just like I couldn't even like think too much about it. I was just like just like focus on putting one foot in front of the other or whatever. And I was literally like, oh my god, like me and Annie, like at least we're together or whatever. But I was really like, I can't believe this is the end for us.
I wasn't thinking that deep. All I was thinking of, don't, like, I was like deeping every single step I was there. I was like, don't slip, don't fucking slip. We're gonna die. We're gonna die. We're not gonna fucking make it. We're gonna fucking die.
Oh my god. And then finally, so it's like this, and then like this, and then it's like this, and then there's like whatever, and then like the temple. As soon as we reach here, like as soon as we step on flat land, it becomes a mere drizzle.
And you think at the top of the mountain, there would still be rain because it's like closer.
As soon, you guys have to actually believe us. Like,
you can't fucking make this shit up.
You actually have to believe us. Like, I'm not even like suspend your disbelief. Like, no, this just both of us remember this, okay? Just as soon as we stepped on flat land, it became a drizzle. And this is our proof for why it's a drizzle. They had like a little tent thing, and they had a little bowl collecting little drops because there was a small hole. If it was torrential rain, there was no
fucking
way.
tent would have been
literally.
gone.
And the bowl, I literally went over to look at the bowl. I was looking at this bowl, and I was like, how is there only that a little amount? And the guy standing there was like, why are you guys drenched? And we were like,
when we say drenched, we don't mean like, oh, like little rain shower drenched, like on my hair.
We were
Our
wearing
hair
much
was like
clothes.
like, you know, when you take a shower and you wet your hair, it was that wet. Our clothes are so wet that we had to like squeeze,
and it was like summery clothes.
Like,
but our clothes was dripping. Like, our clothes was dripping wet. It's like if you put a t-shirt in a bucket and the rain's out of the bucket, it's like that was our clothes. And the guy was so confused. So this proves that the rain wasn't that, like, for some reason, 5 meters away, the rain was that heavy. And he was like, how are you guys that wet? Like, as if we, like, fell into a lake or something. And we were like, what do you mean? Like, it's raining. Like, the rain is insane. He's like, what rain? It's not that bad. It's just a little drizzle. And we're like, and he was like, yeah, like, I've had this bowl here, like, all morning. It's just, like, a little drizzle.
In disbelief because...
Like, we were like, thank God we made it onto flat land. We were also like, what? And he was like, you guys are so wet. And we were like, okay, but, like, what about the exercise thing? And he was like, oh, yeah, we cancelled it. Or what happened?
Yeah, they called it off because of the drizzle.
The drizzle. You're telling us we made it all the way up for this stupid exercise and we almost died so many times just for it to be cancelled. But anyways, it was like, we were so obviously wet that they were like, we need to get you guys into like dry clothes. Like, you guys are gonna like get sick or whatever because we were so wet. And like, okay. And then we were in monk's clothes.
The only dry clothes that they had. Thank God our mom made friends with one of the fucking monks, okay? She made friends with them the first day we went.
No, I made friends.
And then when we were there, like when we were like wet as fuck, he was like, whoa guys, come with me. So
and then
he brought us to his room. He gave us his own monk clothes.
Yeah. So we were
and
in
shoes.
like a not Tibetan monk, but like a Chinese like monk. Like, we were in monk's clothing. And, like, we were just glad to be dry, not, like, on the verge of death. And then here's the crazy part. So we tell all this to our mom or whatever, and she's like, actually, did we tell her that day? No, we didn't.
I don't know.
No, we didn't, because we were still, like, too traumatized about it. Like, we told her, like, a year ago or 2 years ago, or 2 years later. But anyways, and then that evening when we went back to the cabin, we were going, like, the afternoon, so it's still daytime. We were going down on the hill with, like, in our Jeep. And Anya and I were looking the whole time. Guess what? We did not see that hut.
There was no fucking hut.
Oh my god! Nowhere to be found.
Hello?
And then the next few times we were still keeping an eye, could not see that hut.
I was genuinely fucking tweaking off my head. Like, what? And it got me so scared. Like, I was so scared that I just didn't.
We were like, was that a little witch or something? But like, and then we literally didn't talk about it until like a year or two after it happened, because like it was so
literal
serious.
trauma. Like, what the hell?
The fact that like the hut wasn't there.
I think the fact that the old lady was like, "Are you sure?"
Yeah, yeah.
What the fuck do you mean?
I think she was a Grim Reaper. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. You heard it here first. The Grim Reaper looks like an old lady in her 90s that's very short. That, guys, like, she made such a point of it. And I really think she was out to get us. And I think, I don't know what it is. I don't know if, like, us, like, our determination to make it up to that temple. Or maybe, like, the temple's, like, aura, like, the, you know what I mean? The spiritual aura helped us. Or maybe she was just like, wow. I don't know. But something saved us that day, because like...
That temple is no joke. It's not just, like, whatever. It's, like, the person who passed their anniversary, they were like the they were like the most powerful of that group of monks. And so much like supernatural shit has happened on that mountain.
But listen, like
the other like monks or like the people they're talking about.
I am.
But why did that happen?
No,
to
I am
us?
sure that we were meant to have died that day. No, it's true.
It's fucking
She
true.
made such... I'm actually scared. I'm scared this video is just gonna cut off.
I literally get chills. Because at the time when it's happening, you obviously don't think that that's what's happening, you know what I mean? I just thought, okay.
Like, we were still trying to be respectful.
Old Chinese,
yeah, but...
super old, poor little woman. But when she was like, "Are you sure?" I was like, yes, like...
We're like, oh yeah, no, like, we're fine. We have to go up to the mountain. She was like, are you...
I think maybe it was a test to see if we were worried, because we didn't believe, well, not we didn't believe, but like Taoism wasn't our like main religion. Like, we weren't like Taoists. We were just there, like, obviously we were respectful and shit and stuff, but we were just there because of our mom. So I feel she thought it was a Grim Reaper. I feel like it was like a test. I feel like it was a test.
I don't know what it was, but
it was definitely something.
She was not... The hut was nowhere to be found. And like, we asked the people on the mountain, they're like, the people that live there, they're like, there's no one that lives like in this mountain.
Because it's the fucking monk mountain. Because of the temple there. Like,
but it's
you're
also
not like supposed to live on that mountain. You know what I mean?
And when I'm talking about her, like, I'm talking like this is like the slope of the mountain. Her hole is like a concave hole. I'm not talking about a hut outside on a flat thing, like a little hut she made. I'm talking about
genuinely
like
on the curve.
I'm talking about if this is the mountain, that's her little hut. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Anyways, I don't know, but I'm genuinely convinced. I know, like, we were meant to have died that day.
Because if it was just one thing, if it was just the fucking dog, okay. But the dog and the wrong mountain and the old lady
and the cars and everything
and the fucking rain and us going up and then being like, what rain? You are taking the fucking piss.
Like we actually can't make this stuff up. Like,
the fact that we were only able to like tell each other after like a year just kind of proves like how real it was. Like, it was.
And even the fact that like when we got up, they're like, what rain? They're like, on all this, and they're like, what? Like, there's no one that...
because
It's
he was sitting in his little chair, like doing whatever, like outside of like the building, the like small like kitchen place. He fucking been sitting there, you know what I mean? It's not like, oh, he just came out and
Yeah,
like the
like,
rain
all
just stopped.
morning.
He had been sitting there, and he was like, why are you guys so wet? Bitch, you fucking tell me, like, what.
And I think the fact that both Annie in our hearts, in our guts,
we thought we were gonna die. Like, and we were wait, how old were we? We were like pretty young then. So it's not even like, oh, because we're so mature and whatever, like we're adults and we are aware of like all the risk, whatever. It wasn't
it wasn't
into my mind.
Yeah, it wasn't like
oh my
logic,
God,
reasoning.
we're
We
gonna
just
die.
knew. We were like, and it's not like
It
a little
wasn't
like,
even-
oh my God, like
yeah.
it's like I reached
It's like-
acceptance.
It's
like
deep down.
I went through the 7
You
stages
know.
of grief and I reached acceptance and I was like, okay, like I literally just accepted.
And
I was like,
I have really bad anxiety anyways. And I know that feeling wasn't like just like my anxious like overthinking, like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. It was like deep in my brain, in my soul, like I am going to die, like we are going to die. No. We need to move on. I can't talk about this. I can't deal.
okay, you talk about my movie.
Okay. On a lighter note, this summer or after my leaving cert, me and my best friend and I went to Mallorca because it was probably one of the cheapest and whatever, you know. So then one of the nights we want to go to Magaluf, and you know Magaluf is like known for the clubs, you know. So like we already had like a really long day, because whoa.
Yeah, I think you guys did the whole hike.
Yeah, we were there for like 3 nights. So we want every day to be jam-packed with everything. So earlier that day we went to a different town that was like so fucking far away. We had like one of the worst days of our lives. It was kind of worth it because it was pretty. The heat, everything was, oh my God. We also
went in summer, like.
We also had to climb a mountain, but okay. So when we get back to our hotel, I think we both like have a shower and we're like taking our time getting ready. Like even though like we both know we want to go to like Magaluf that night, and you know like clubbing, it's like, you know, things start pretty late, but we were still kind of in a rush because we thought like, okay, like we'd be there for like 11 like or like 12 and like, you know, and then we'll like go back to the hotel at like 3 or something, because that's what like normal clubbing is like. So we're like kind of behind on time, I think, or something, and we're like on the bus there, and then we're like, okay, like, because we said, or like we thought around 3, because we thought like that's when the clubs would like close, so we'd have to come home and stuff. We get there, we get on this bus, okay, Magaluf is like an hour away. The whole bus is filled with people going. We didn't realize until we were nearly there. Like, at every single stop, only people would get on. No one's getting off. And we were like, okay. Only when we get there, she's like, oh, this is our stop. Everyone gets off. And we're like, ooh, okay. So we get off at this street. And then we're like, okay, like, which way do we go? And then we kind of follow the people in front of us. And then there's this like really big club, but then there's like no other clubs beside it, and we're like, I don't know if this is it, like maybe we should keep walking. So we follow these other people and Shin's on her like Google Maps, and then we're walking for like 5 minutes from the bus stop, and then we see it, the fucking like Magaluf strip, like it's like a whole road, both sides full of clubs and like shops like souvenir shops, I guess, and like and like some food places, and we're like, ooh, like, oh shit, like, okay. And it's pretty like there are like a good amount of people, but like I genuinely thought, I was like, okay, so like maybe everyone's inside or something. Like it's not popping off. So we go into this first one, go into the first club, they're like free entry, like just come in, whatever. And it's like a silent disco, I guess. And it's really fun. But the music they're playing is like kind of old, and like we don't know the words or whatever, but there's like a lot of white guys. Anyways, we're there for like maybe 20, half an hour. And then we leave, we're like, let's go look at other stuff. And then by now it's probably like maybe like 12, half 12, nearly 1. We go into another club. It's so fucking dead. There's only like a few other people. And we're like, okay, like, oh, where is
I thought you
everyone?
followed the people that came off the bus.
No, some of them went the other way. And the other ones, they just led us there, like to the strip. And then we just went our own ways because we literally were just behind them. So this club is like dead, and we have our first drinks, and we're like, okay, we're trying to have fun. The club that we went to is like a wristband one, so, and they were like collabing with like 5 other clubs. It's like, you have this wristband, you can go to any of them. So we're like, okay, maybe we should stay here for a bit and then go to a different one. We're staying there for a bit. A few more people come in. We're still having fun. Okay, they're playing good music, and then so more people come, but it's still not like fully packed. You know what I mean? There's still like moving space, and then we stay there until like what?
Is this for this?
And then so like this is around like 1:30, where the people I thought was already like a good amount of people, like with moving space and stuff. And then we decided to go to a different club just to see what it's like. You know, like we don't know if this is like the good club or whatever. So we leave and we go to other ones. And the other ones are like more dead. Like they're more dead, but like even the music or whatever just wasn't really our thing. And we go to like probably like 4 or 5, because some of them that weren't with like the fucking deal were like free entry anyways. So we're like, okay, maybe we should just go back to the first one because that's like the most fun. When we go back, this is like nearly 2 a.m. Now it's full. Okay, now it's so full. When we first went there, you go downstairs, and then there's the doors, and then the dance stage is like over there. It used to only be the dance people, like the dance stage that had people. Everywhere it was packed with people. And then we were like, ooh. So we decided to stay there for the rest of the night. And like the people just like the number of people just kept growing. Like more people just kept coming, which is like crazy. Because I was like, if they close at 3, this is what Ireland has done to my brain. Clubs closing at 3. We are having so much fun. Okay, we are having so much fun. We don't get with anyone because that was not our goal. But like we were head on, whatever. But it was fun. Very, very fun. Me and the bouncer were like this. Anyways. And then I checked the time and it's like 6 and everyone is still like, no one is leaving. You know what I mean? But Shin and I, we don't want to, like, we don't live in Magaluf. Loads of the people there lived in Magaluf and their hotel was like just around the corner. So they obviously stayed out later. Or like, they don't mind staying out that late. So then we were like, okay, let's go. 6 a.m. Okay, we were in like platform heels, okay? We are waiting at the bus stop. The bus will not come. The bus has not come. We were waiting. It was meant to the bus was delayed. That was all. We were waiting there for like 10 minutes. We thought the bus wouldn't come, but it was just delayed. There were other people at the bus stop too. When the bus comes, it's full of people already. There's no seats. And Shin and I are like, oh the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Are we gonna, like, maybe people will get off at the next few stops, okay? There's bound to be people getting off. No one fucking gets off, okay? Everyone is going back to Palma, like the city that we were in. We fucking stood on the bus for like an hour in our platform heels, and we, like, I don't want to take them off and just stand on the fucking floor. We get to Palma, we get to our city at 7 a.m. We are both so dead. Like, we were kind of drunk and we're kind of sobering up now. Both of our feet hurt. Shin's feet hurt like way more than mine, because her slippers, like, the slippers she brought anyways were hurting her feet, so her feet already hurt and now they hurt even more. So we're just trying to get back. We are just trying to get back to the hotel. And we're walking, we're like looking at Google Maps, and we both feel like shit. Like, I feel like ass. Like, the sun is coming up.
Didn't you guys drink a lot or something?
Yeah. Oh my god, the fucking drinks in Spain are insane. They like free pour everything. And if you're nice to the bartender, like if you're pretty, whatever, they'll add like even more for you. When I got a vodka Coke, okay, and he already free poured like this much into the glass and put like this much Coke. And then he gave it to me and I was like, whoa. And I was like, okay. And then he took it back and he was like, oh my god, I forgot to add the vodka. Fella adds more. And I'm not going to be like, no, don't. Because, but oh my god. So we were drunk. We weren't drunk then, but we were like kind of starting to sober up on our walk home, on our long, long walk back to the hotel. And the fucking roads were under construction, so it was all rocks, and we were in platform heels that had like no support, and Shin was over it. she just, okay, me too, but like not as much, you know. I was a bit better because my feet didn't hurt that much, like as much as hers did, but we were just silent the whole time walking back to the hotel because we had no energy. We both didn't want to deal with each other. Yeah. And then the sun literally like was like in the sky when we finally got back to the hotel. And then we like, we say like one word to each other. We took off our makeup and then we just go like straight to sleep. And then we wake up,
I thought you slept on the couch.
No, that's a different.
Oh. Okay.
And then we wake up at like noon-ish because we only went to sleep at like 7. And we had like a cruise for that day booked, but I hate boats. And I was scared anyways.
Was it Shin's idea?
Yeah. But like I wasn't like, no, I don't want to go on a boat. I was like, okay, maybe. Like I kept my fear to myself, you know what I mean? And then we both wake up hungover as fuck. And there's like 1 hour till the cruise leaves. And we can't refund it. And we're just like debating with each other, should we go or should we not go? And mind you, that day was the hottest day for the whole week. It was like 35 degrees. And when we're on the boat, it's not even like the boat is always moving, so there's wind. It's like it goes to like the middle of the sea. And then they cook a little, you swim in the sea or something. There's no shade on the boat, except for like the fucking sail probably. There's no AC, there's no nothing. And I genuinely felt like if I went, I would have just like actually had heat stroke on the fucking boat. So I didn't want to go. In the end, we didn't go, and we just stayed in the hotel for the whole day.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, because we felt like shit, and like, or what do we, yeah.
So did you guys leave the hotel or no?
I'm trying to remember. We left later, like in the evening when the sun went down. We got ready and we went for a nice dinner. And then after that dinner, we went to a bar, like club thing outside of our hotel. And we got free drinks or whatever. We didn't even drink that much. We only had like maybe like 2 drinks and like a few, like 2 shots or whatever. But oh my god, it was so fucking strong, and I was on such a good buzz. You know, I was loving it, like like having the time of my life. Like it was fun. I was having fun with Shin. The club was like Afro beats though, so we couldn't really dance, but we were just drinking. We decided to go back a bit early. It's probably like 1 or 2. Yeah. And then all the, like, I'm in the hotel, it's good vibes until we get to the room. We're leaving the next day, so we need to pack. Shin is not as drunk as me. Like, I don't know why. I think maybe I drank a little bit more or something. Or maybe just my tolerance. I don't know. She's like, okay, like we need to start packing, and I'm like, yeah. I sit on the couch in our room. I'm like, yeah.
It's like a 1-seater couch.
It's like a round couch, and all our stuff is like packed onto it already. I like sit down. I'm like listening to her talk. I'm like, yeah. I lie back, and I like fall asleep. The light in our room is so bright. I remember thinking like, turn off this fucking light. So I grabbed my sun hat from the fucking pile and I put it on my face to like nap, I guess, for a bit. Maybe like, I don't know how long, maybe like 20 minutes or maybe even less. Shin like wakes me up and she's like, wait, like come on, like we have to pack. And I'm like, I like take off the hat, I like sit up, I'm like, oh my god, any good feeling I ever had was gone. Like out the door, goodbye. I felt like shit. I felt like throwing up. My head wouldn't stop spinning. And she was like, oh yeah, we need to start packing. I was like, I get up off the couch, for my knees, hands on the floor, and I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom. This has never happened before between me and Shin. Like, she has never seen me like this. My like, I always know when to stop drinking, so like I've never really been like that in front of her. I don't understand. Like, it was the fucking drinks. Like, there was something in that drink, and then she's like pretty worried, and I'm like, I need to go to the bathroom. Like, I feel so sick. She's like leading me to the bathroom, like holding my one hand as I'm crawling on the floor to the bathroom. And then I crawl to the toilet, and I'm like, get out, like I'm gonna throw up, like get out. And she's like, no, like let me hold your hair, like let me help you. And I was like, get out, because I don't want her to see me like that. And then you know.
And then talk about like you walking back from the.
I finished the. Okay, it was pretty clean, you know. I didn't get it like everywhere. It was, you know, I'm pretty proud of that. And then after I like wash my face, like whatever, I'm still on the floor. Even after I have even less energy than I had before, that I had to call Shin back and help me crawl to the bed. So I'm still crawling on the floor. Shin is like slowly walking beside me, like holding my shoulders as I crawl. And then she like lifts me.
I thought she was holding your hand.
She was holding my hand to the bathroom. And then I'm like at the end of the bed, okay, and I'm like trying to like stand up to go on the bed. She brings me up and I lie on the bed and then I fall asleep.
And then like she helped you clean up.
She helped me pack like most of my stuff, like all of my clothes and shit. And when I woke up, she was like, "How are you feeling?"
Oh my
It
god.
was the worst hangover ever. But I didn't want to waste the morning. So I put on my sunglasses, like put on my slippers, and I was like, let's fucking go. Like, let's get this bread. Like, let's go. So we go have breakfast, we go to the pool and whatever. I'm so fucking hungover. But it was fun. It was very, very fun. If anything, it was worth it.
Okay. This is just a quick one that I just don't really remember because this happened when I was like, I don't know, like literally 4, 5, 6, or 7. I think we were coming back from China or something, and then we were, you know, like they don't have direct flights from Qingdao to Dublin or whatever. So I can't remember what airport it was. It was either like Paris, Frankfurt, like one of those airports. Guys, I think it was me, Annie, her dad, Annie and our brother and my mom, like all 5 of us traveling, and like there was a connection, and then I think my mom had to go to the bathroom with like Annie or something, and like my brother and Annie's dad were waiting at the gate or something, and she was just like, oh, just like sit here for a sec, I'll be back or something. And then I stood there for ages, like hours. And I'm like, I don't know why I didn't think much of it, or like maybe I did, I don't know. I'm kind of like clueless as a child. And then like a flight attendant lady thing comes over and she's like, hi. I was like, hi. And she was like, I think she had like the phone from my mom or something. And like my mom was like, hey Elaine, like because you're like my little princess, you're my little angel, whatever, we have like a special like VIP like plane for you, whatever, and like this lady is gonna fly with you back home or whatever, and you get the most special whatever. And she convinced me, and I was like, okay, and whatever. But I did kind of think I was kind of sus because I didn't hear about it before, and she was sending me on the phone or whatever. And then she was really nice, and like I did like some coloring or whatever. And then she like sat with me. I think she walked me to the plane, and then like told the flight attendants on the plane, and then like I sat there and they were really nice to me or whatever, and they got me like food and like stuff. And then I find out like a few years years later that like they just kind of forgot me. Like thank God it was the connection flight, and like apparently like as soon as like they took off, like she remembered or something. And like once like they got to Dublin, like Annie's dad was throwing up profusely because of how stressed he was. But thank God I was clueless. Have you asked him about it yet?
No, I didn't know that happened.
Yeah. Middle child things. Okay, next on our list is Paris. So, we went to Paris at the height of summer. I'm from a cool climate, girl. Like we're Chinese, but we grew up in Ireland, so like, you know what I mean? Like we're not used to the heat. And it was like 30, 35 something degrees. I'm very prone to heat strokes. Anyways, what even happened? Why weren't you guys there?
It was me, Elaine, my dad, and our mom. And we all decided that like we'd have like split days. So one day like my dad would bring Elaine like to go on the rides, and then my mom would bring me, and then it switched over. So that day, my mom was with Elaine and I was with our dad.
What did you guys do?
I don't fucking remember. I know he bought me like a toy and I just playing with the toy the whole time. But we were in the hotel when we got the call, and it was my mom being like, or our mom being like, come to, I don't know what it's fucking called. The Louvre, like right now. So then we rush over.
So basically, I saw the Mona Lisa. Even when I seen the Mona Lisa, I was kind of like, whatever, because there were so many people in the Louvre. Like, even though it was indoors, because there were so many people, it was so warm. And then I saw, like, who did I see? I don't know if I saw, like, Botticelli's Muse or something. I don't know. I saw someone, and my mom was like, it's because you are so beautiful like me. She's saying, you're so beautiful, and she is so beautiful. And the Louvre could not contain that much beauty. And you took one for the team, and that's why you fainted and collapsed. Because I kind of remember, like, three, like, security people, like, kind of helping me or something. And then I woke up, like, looking up. And, like, I was, like, on this, like, bench or whatever. My mom was like, hey. She wasn't even there, I think. I think she was, like, looking around, like, at the art pieces or whatever. I don't even know. And then...
She was there to take a picture of you, and then maybe she left.
And he has the iconic photo of me just, like...
Passed out on the fucking bench.
Like, you know, like, people sleeping, it's, like, a certain pose. But, like, you know when people are, like, unconscious, like, their whole body is limp. Like, that was me. What else in Paris? Okay, there's also the Peekaboo story, but it's not that funny. Maybe another time. Okay, here's a time about me. I went to Mount Everest with my mom and my brother, because Anya was pretty young at the time. I don't know what made her think it's a good idea, but a girlie is asthmatic, and my mom, okay, this is how most people go to Mount Everest, okay? They go to, like, Chengdu. It's, like, where the pandas are in China. And then they ride this long-ass train, like, maybe over 12 hours or a few days or something. I don't know. Or some that's, like, 2 days. Like, a train. And even though it's, like, so long, inconvenient, people do it for a reason, okay? We only found out much later. Anyways, the train takes you from the altitude, like, the sea level of 0, slowly up to, like, 200, slowly up to, like, 500, slowly up to 700. 800, 1000, 1200. That's probably what Lhasa is, like the capital of Tibet, I think. Lhasa. And then they go from Lhasa slowly from 1200 to, like, slowly up to 2000, 3000 to Zhikazu. And then they go from that up, and then on Mount Everest, and then they reach base camp, which is like 4,000 something, okay? So, my mom, I don't know what, like, I don't know if she is just, like, too bougie for the long train, because it is, like, a long, like a long train, like, you know what I mean? Like, you're on there for a hot minute, and, like, maybe she thought it's, like, uncomfortable, whatever. She's like, no, how about this? We got, like, a private plane from Chengdu, which is 0 meters, not even to Lhasa, which is 1,200 meters above sea level. Like, you know what I mean? Like even on the plane, like even, like, I had these little, like, things called, I call them gumma gumma, but it's actually, like, black sesame powder that you, like, mix with water, whatever, for, like, a drink. But anyways, I had that and the thing, like, whatever. So just, like, anyways, so not only did we not go from 0 meters sea level to Lhasa, which is 1,200. She was like, nah, I don't even want to waste the time going from Lhasa to Zhikazu. Don't know what she was thinking. We got a plane, a private, I don't know if it's a private plane, but, like, it was a plane with just us that she ordered. But it wasn't like PJ, like, private jet vibes. It was just, like, a tiny plane, you know what I'm saying? We got a plane. Are you okay? Yeah. We got a plane from Chengdu, 0 meters, straight to Zhikazu, which is, like, 3,000 something. When I tell you, as soon as they opened the tiny door to our plane, I I was walking up holding the seats, whatever. As soon as they opened it, I went, like, my body went, do you know what I mean? And then as soon as I made it to the top of, like, the door, and then there's, like, the ladders coming down from the plane, my knees gave in, and I, like, collapsed. And then and, like, the airport wasn't even a real airport. Like, all that was in the airport was, like, they didn't even have a conveyor belt. They just, like, took our luggage in this little room, and there was a girl sitting at a desk, and she's like, okay, like it wasn't an airport. Anyways, I don't know. But anyways, and then I got in the elevator, and I was really like, oh my God, what the hell? Couldn't breathe, thought I was gonna die, felt like throwing up. It was crazy. Like, my brother, my mom, like, none of us could, like, stand. Like, we could not hold ourselves upright because, like, that is crazy for anyone, going from 0 to, like, almost 4,000 meters, you know what I'm saying, in, like, a split second, because obviously on the plane, like, it's still the plane, whatever. And then, oh my God, this was literally, like, the trip was, like, maybe 10 days long. Actually, the worst trip of my life. Like, I am really privileged to, like, go on, like, a solo trip, you know what I mean, like my mom funded it or whatever, to Mount Everest, and, like, to say that, but, like, it was so rough. Like, I was always on oxygen because I'm so asthmatic. Like, it's just hard for anyone to breathe in that altitude, but obviously for me, because I'm so asthmatic, and I was in, like, 10 or 11 at the time. So yeah, that was annoying. And then we had a personal driver who had a Jeep, because that's the only thing you can drive in these mountains. And he, like, knew the area, whatever. That's why we got him. But, like, there was no there was no water for us to drink. And this is why it haunts me. Like, I actually have, like, PTSD from this. I cannot even go near a smell of Red Bull, because all that he had in his trunk was Red Bull Gold. Like, the gold, do you know the small gold cans? That's all he had. And my body was, like, dying. Like, my organs were trying to shut down. And I could not eat a single thing. I could not breathe, always on oxygen. And then, like, whenever, like, they'd be like, oh, you haven't ate, like, you need to, like, drink a little bit of this Red Bull. So I drink a little bit and I throw up. And then, you know, when you throw up, you're, like, dehydrated because your body, like, just took all this bar or whatever to throw up. So, and then I finished throwing up, and then they're like, rinse your mouth or whatever. Didn't have water, yeah? So you know what I rinsed my mouth with? More of that Red Bull. So then I drink a little more Red Bull and I throw up. Now, it's literally like your body keeps a score. The journey is right, your body keeps a score. Now when I smell Red Bull, I'm like, ugh, like, anyways. And then we went to this restaurant, and my mom got these, like, people there to literally fish us a fish from the pond or whatever, and it's this, like, real, like, Tibetan thing or whatever. I eat a little bit, I throw up. So I literally could not eat anything, okay? And then I'm not a crazy Buddhist or whatever, okay? But when I tell you some things happen, like, this is my testimony, okay? Listen to this. So, and then we make it to, like, a temple in Ryakaza. It's like a Buddhist temple. This is the land that's already 4,000 meters above sea level. The temple was on a little hill. We go up the hill. They're, like, propping me up because my mom she's like, I know before we just mentioned Taoist, now we're talking about Buddhist. Like, she is religious in every religion, which I know is contradictory, but anyways. So my brother and the driver is propping me up to this temple. In China, they have these, like, olden Chinese architecture where there's like a wooden beam on the floor, and whenever you cross it, you have to, like, raise your legs over to show respect, like you can't step on or whatever. When I tell you, as soon as my legs crossed the barrier, I could breathe. And I was skipping about the place. I was running up the mountain in this temple. I was skipping about the place. I was singing. Before, I was literally on oxygen the whole time, having to be propped up. Like, all my photos, like, I literally look dead in all the photos of me in Mount Everest. Like, it would have been a cool Insta slay. But anyways, I was jumping about, singing, skipping, like, playing with these stuff in the temple. Crazy. And, like, my mom went to, like, a little, like, service or whatever. And then we leave the temple, and it's downhill, so you'd think it'd be better. As soon as we leave So, like, I'm not saying. No, yes, I am. Like, that is my
supremacy.
That is my testimony. Like, the Tibetan Buddhists, their praying, it works. Because what the actual heck? Like, it was on top, like, crazy. Like, even my brother was like, how is she singing? Like on my own, I was singing while skipping, like, crazy. Anyways, and then now that I'm out of the temple, I'm back to my, like, literally fighting for my life self, okay? And we stop at this little store, and, like, my mom gives me a 100 yuan, like a 100 RMB note, to buy some sweets for the little children. Like, they're really, like, poor, like, these children in, like, the countryside of Tibet or whatever. And then I was there, like, holding on to stuff to, like, walk there, like, but it was, like, a really short walk or whatever. And my mom wanted me to get some fresh air or whatever. Anyways, so I go up to the counter and I'm like, how much is sweets? And he's like, how many? And, like, we were talking in, like, this because he spoke, like, Tibetan. I don't know the language, whatever. And I speak Mandarin, but I also could barely speak because I was, like, dying. And I look back to the children. There's, like, around 12 of them. I'm like, I don't know, 12 or whatever. And he sees my 100 note. I don't know if I was delirious. I think I was, because I'm running on, like, no sleep, only Red Bull that I keep throwing up and whatever. And then he looks at it and he's like, 5. And I was like, oh, shit. And in my mind, in my logic, my 10-year-old, like, delirious mind, I was like, oh my god, it makes sense, because there's not even water up here. Like, it must cost so much money to transport these sweets to this tiny little shop in Tibet, you know what I mean? Like, it makes sense that it's like 500 yuan for, like, 12 sweets for all those kids. And I felt so awkward. I turned back and they're all staring at the window, like, waiting for me. And I felt so awkward. I was like, oh my god, this is gonna be so awkward, because they're all waiting for me for these sweets and I can't even afford it because I only have one 100 yuan. And I just felt so bad, because I know that, like, they probably don't get sweets often or whatever. And he was just staring at me. And I literally was there for, like, 10 minutes. My brother was like, haha, like, is everything okay? Whatever. And I was like, look, this is all I have. And then he, like, gave me, like, 20 sweets. And then he started finding me change. And I was like, wait, what? And then I found out it was meant, like, 5 yuan. And I had 100 yuan. But anyways, and then I, like, gave them the sweets or whatever. And then, let me tell you this one more. Okay, this story makes you appreciate the little things in life when you are literally fighting for your life, okay? So we're towards, like, I think we finished climbing. Okay, let me tell you about how I climbed the Mount Everest. Whenever I tell people I was on the Mount Everest, and it was like, bruh. But anyways, so this is what happened. We were around Uru Castle, which is 4,300, okay? Base camp is like 4,850 or 4,580, I don't know, something like that, okay? So, and then like a lot of the rich people, like, they put money in together so they could ride this little bus. So I was on the bus, okay? And my mom and my brother were sitting at one. I was sitting next to this, like, lady that I've never met before. And I probably fell asleep on her shoulders, still with my oxygen tank or whatever. And then I woke up, I drooled all over her shoulder. And I felt so bad, but I was really, like, dying. And she was like, it's okay, whatever. And then I get off the bus. And my brother has to, like, literally, like, lift me, like, how, like, you lift a bride, kind of whatever. And up to, like, the flags and the sign for base camp, and then they prop me up and take a photo, and that was me climbing Mount Everest. Climbing up the base camp. It's rough, but anyways, I remember seeing all the colorful flags, because in, like, Tibetan Buddhism, that's what they do, and they had it all around base camp, and I was like, am I in heaven? And I was like, where am I? Whatever. Anyways, okay, so now we're towards the end of our trip. It's been like 9 days of constant not being able to eat food, having to be force-fed this Red Bull, throwing it up, drinking more Red Bull. Like, I couldn't drink anything.
Can't escape the Red Bull.
Oh my god, like, I just wanted anything other than Red Bull. I was like praying. I was like, and like when I was like in the Jeep, like lying on my mom's lap and looking up at her, I was like, wow. I was like, I'm gonna die, and I was like, this is so sad. Like, this is the last time I get to see my mom. Like, it was like, and I was 10. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't even learn this stuff from movies. I just felt an instinct, because I swear, like, before you're gonna die, like, you know you're gonna die. But anyways, so now I'm like sleeping in this Jeep or whatever, and then I literally thought I went to heaven, because my mom opened the door, and like she was smiling, whatever, and she hands me a cup. Like a little mug or whatever, and I literally thought I entered heaven. I was like, wow, this is heaven, because it was a cup of hot, boiling, freshly made cappuccino. I was drinking a cappuccino. I was like, oh my god, and I was like, oh my god, like, how is it in heaven? I'm drinking a cappuccino. No, because I was suffering. I was really like, if I had fluid in my body to cry, I would have cried tears of joy. And I was literally looking at her and being like, oh my god, Mom, how did you do this? And she was like, bull poop. And I was like, oh god. No. I was like, that is so nice. This is what I imagine happened. I imagine my mom loved me so much, and she thought I was gonna die. Her eldest daughter was gonna die. I thought, because I think she brought like little sachet, the like instant cappuccino. I thought, because I actually was gonna die. But anyways, I thought she went to like the 2 bowls that they had on the whole mountain, and she was waiting for them to poo. And as soon as the poo comes out of their body, she holds it and wraps it around the water with the instant cappuccino. Like, I thought it was a mug, and she wraps the poo around it to heat up, to use the poo heat to heat up the cappuccino.
When they told me, like, my mom told me the same thing, and she was like, oh, they had to use the poop to like heat it up or whatever. And I was like, they what?
And I was like, oh my god, like, I can't believe I can't even smell it. And I didn't even care that it was heated up by the bull's poo. I was just happy to drink anything other than Red Bull. Oh my god, it kind of felt like home in this place where I was gonna die, like, in this barren land. And then I found out years later, no, like, actually my mom just paid like 500 yuan for 2.
It was for the, it's like,
no, wait. She paid 500 yuan for 2 little dried up lumps of poo, like dried up, so they could use it as like coal. Like, they could use it as stuff to burn. Because like, it's all like, this is like Mount Everest, it's all like snowy mountains. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So like, there's no like grass that you can burn. So that's why like, she paid that much money for literally bullshit, like bull poo. So they can burn it, so that they could like boil the water or whatever. I didn't know. I just thought like, wow, my mom used like the warmth of the bull's poo. Anyways, that cappuccino is the best thing ever. And then, now we finished climbing Mount Everest, whatever. Oh my god, so funny. So my brother, he like wanted to climb up to 6,800 or whatever, like the next camp or whatever. And my mom, she had to kind of be close to me in the Jeep because I was dying. But she also didn't want to lose sight of my brother, because if she did, like, he could die. You know, a lot of people just die and then you can't even find them because they're in the snow or whatever. So my mom, she's like a film director, whatever. She had her camera and she put it on zoom so that she could see my brother. So she had to like follow really closely, because even with the zoom, he was in like a little dot, and my mom just like had to just stare at the camera the whole time. She couldn't even pay attention to other things because she might lose him. And then these like Tibetan people who have never seen people in like normal clothing or whatever, never seen a camera. These little kids thought that my mom was like a little like animal or a beast or something that they'd never seen. And they took little pebbles. My mom was there so focused on the camera, and they start like throwing it at her to see if like she'll respond. To see him, like, she'll react to, like, test, like, what sort of, like, creatures and whatever. And, like, when it was just little pebbles, and she knew it was, like, little kids, like, from her peripheral vision, she, like, didn't really care because she was, like, so focused on, like, not losing her son. And then they start throwing, like, bigger rocks. And then, like, by the time it started hurting, she was like, what? And they're like, ah!
Thank God I didn't go on that fucking trip.
Oh
I stayed in Tilna with my babysitter and my auntie, and I went to every single singing competition that was going on for that whole week.
Oh my God, no, that trip was actually cursed. And then when my brother, like, finished climbing and we were leaving to go back to Lhasa, we wanted to leave, start up the engine. The driver started up the engine. I, like, kind of remember this. And, like, it wouldn't go. And we're like, what? And then we hear shouting, and we're like, oh my God, it's coming, whatever. And we roll down the windows, and people are running. And then we see, like, muck following, and we found out we were in a landslide. And we were like, what the hell? What did we do? What the hell? And this was the Jeep wheel. It was already covered like this much. Okay? And they were like, there's nothing you can do. You have to wait until it stops and it dries. And then once it dries, because when it's wet, like, it'll break the car. And once it dries, you can kind of, like, if you push it out of the thing, and then you can, like, go on, like, the dry land. We were stuck in the Jeep for 4 hours. And we almost missed our flight from Lhasa. And, like, there are so few flights because who flies? Like, not many people fly from Mount Everest or whatever. But anyways, so that was my cursed trip on Mount Everest. I think we might have to end it here, and we'll record a part 2. Yeah, in different shades, because we still have
a
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stories we want to tell, and we've only told 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stories. So we're gonna do another video. I hope you guys liked our cursed travel, like, surviving death stories. Anyways, please give the video a like, and I'm trying to make it to 80 subscribers, okay? I'm on 77 subscribers, and at the end of every video, I'm gonna do a count, so that one day when I'm bigger than Mr. Beast, I'll be like, oh my God, throw it back to when I had 77 subscribers. Please subscribe, please like, please comment, and give us ideas. None of you guys give me ideas. I say this at the end of every one. None of you guys give me ideas. But anyways, wait, should we do, like, a little thumbnail?